everyone. Welcome to the Seeds of Success podcast, hosted by Dottie San Martin and myself, Orly Rivera. This show is your weekly dose of knowledge, insights, and actionable tips to transform centers into striking successes. Whether you are a seasoned industry professional or just stepping onto the lanes, we've got you covered. Dottie and Diana, we have both of you on today. And, I've been shopping lately, different stores, and all of a sudden I'm starting to see Halloween stuff. I know it's a little, well, I don't want to say it's early because it's not, but I'm seeing candy, I'm seeing costumes. So I thought, hey, can we get together today and talk Halloween? Are you guys open for that?
Hey, I'm game for that. Hey, Orly, I want to say, you know what? We're not going to count Diana as a guest anymore. She's just one of us now. She's a guest.
I agree.
She's a frequent shopper. How's that? Or a frequent brainstormer. How's that?
Yeah, I totally agree. If you notice, I didn't say, and we also have a guest. I just said we have Dottie and Diana here today. And you guys, even though we're talking Halloween, this isn't a mask. So just a heads up, this is how I look all the time.
Oh, well, I was going to ask, but I didn't want to be rude. So, but no, Orly, anytime we can get together, one of our favorite things to do, and especially the three of us, is to find time where we can actually brainstorm things out because we feed off of one another. And the three of us love to develop events, to have events, to think of the tiny little details that make that an over the top event. And so if that's what you're looking for, is to brainstorm out Halloween and theming and stuff like that, I'm game. What about you, Diana?
I am always game. I love events. We've talked about that so much, and Halloween is perfect because there is just so much that you can do with it.
Yeah, and I have a blast doing that stuff, and I'm sure you guys do too. But I've worked places before in the past, and somebody says something, or even now, I'll hear like a friend say, like, "Man, I got a plan for this party we're having or this event," and I'm like, it's almost like a bad thing, and I'm like, dude, this is fun. This is like, it's like It doesn't feel like work. It's like you're planning. You're going to be at the party, obviously. So think of it as planning a party for yourself. Hey, what would I like? What kind of fun things am I going to do?
Yeah, you're right. And when you do start to plan and you start to decorate and you make your venue feel that you've put a lot of effort into it, right? You want the experience to just be amazing. It's noticed. And people, they don't mind when you've thought of everything, even like we've said many times before, incorporating special food items or maybe drink items or maybe a way to serve that drink in some sort of holiday related container, whatever the case may be. People notice those things.
Yeah.
And they're willing to pay for it. So Halloween, like you said, is right around the corner. And I have to tell you, it's not just, we are in the entertainment industry. But this doesn't just apply to being in this business. I went into the dental office the other day, and I think I was telling you guys this, and I was so impressed. I'm like, guys, these guys are on top of things. They're already putting stuff out for the fall. And, I was impressed that they just didn't have the same old office setting that I've seen a million times. They actually were making it fun for the people that were coming in. That made a difference to me.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I love seeing that when you go into places and you're starting to see, their decorations or their signs up, and then just even when staff's involved, when you see them wearing a little, whether it's a little pin that's a Halloween pin, or and you could do that when it comes to your center. If you're going to promote something Halloween wise, jump on video, be in a costume. Hey guys, we're having a costume contest. I think people see if you're having fun with it, they're going to be like, okay, this is going to be a good party. This guy's dressed up. He's ready to go. I think little things like that make a difference when they see that you're excited for it too.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And Halloween has so many decorations and ways that you can take it. And Diana, I've said this before, you're the queen of thinking of all the ways to make it feel like such a great event. But decorations for Halloween are so much fun. And there's so many different things that you can do to make your center feel like Halloween.
Yes, there are. I mean, I love that. I know I did last year. We did a trick-or-treating on the lanes, and I loved it because I actually had the pits decorated. So you could come into one pit, nice. It was decorated, get your candy, go to the next pit, it was decorated a different theme. And, I had 4 lanes like that in a row that you just kind of came in, boom, 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 went out. And it was great because we did it during the day when most kids were at school. So we had a lot of younger kids coming in with their parents.
Oh, nice.
And then it just opened everything up because then, they decide, oh, we want a bowl. We're having fun. This is a fun, welcoming space. Oh, let's go get something to eat too. And I love it when you can kind of connect it with all the things in your center. It's not just one thing, bowling. You can open it up to all different, your snack bar, that welcoming shot when you first come in, and then you've got your staff dressed up. It's so much better.
Yeah. And, having those fun little food items, that you can create, especially for Halloween is definitely, a great opportunity. You said, about having the trick or treat on the lanes. You can also do things within your center to carry it off the lanes too, to keep them in your center longer. I know one of the fun things to do is take just a plastic cauldron. You can get them anywhere, the big old plastic black cauldrons, and set that up and have a line where the kids can stand behind the line. And based on age, the little kids are going to stand close up to it, but you take rubber rats and you try to throw the rubber rats. You get 3 tries to throw the rubber rat into the cauldron. That's a lot of fun. It's just one more thing, right? But it also adds to the decor. Or even, have like a big black cat and you try to pin the tail on the black cat. Little things to keep them in your center.
And one thing you could do too, I was just thinking, and fair warning, guys, like we said, this is brainstorm, so we might be all over the place, because I think of something here in the middle. Yeah. So what I was going to say is, you mentioned people coming in with their little kids or something during the day. Maybe open it up to all day, not necessarily your big party all day, but maybe say, hey, we're going to have candy, for kids during the day. Because some people don't want to bring their kids out at night. It's scarier for them, all the big costumes. Yeah. Sometimes it's just, I don't want to take my little ones out at night. It's cold or something. So maybe offer that, that way you're getting people, instead of everybody, we're going to wait till 8 p.m. tonight when the big party starts. No, have the younger ones come in, or you don't have to say her, but just, hey, we're here all day. Make sure to swing your kids by and get some candy. That way, if somebody's like, we want a bowl before it gets busy tonight, you're keeping your lanes full all day.
Yeah. I totally agree.
Yeah.
The other thing is parents are looking for that safe thing to do, right? And I know in the past we have had centers that actually, and I've done it myself as well years ago, but instead of candy, you can print an opportunity for the kids to come into the bowling center. So, and especially if you're if you're a center that has Mad Games, for example, you could give away a voucher for a free game of Monster Factory. Well, first of all, the kids, the first thing they do when they get that in their trick or treat sack is they go, because they would see, that it's for a Monster Factory game. That's great advertisement for people that don't know that the center offers, Mad Games or Monster Factory. And you can position it however you want, but, a free Mad Game or 15 minutes of Mad Games or whatever the case may be. It's a great way to offer. You could sell those in, books, but it's a great alternative to candy, right? So it's another opportunity to bring new families into your center.
Yeah, it is. And that gets the people that don't want to give candy out, that gives them an alternative that they can use.
Yes, absolutely. So, Halloween is just one of those opportunities. And, like I said, to have other events going on within the facility that the kids can participate in. Another thing that's really fun, and I've seen people do it with real pins, but then I've also seen centers that give out paper that the kids can decorate a pin. But that's a lot of fun too. And you can even do that for adults. If you've got old pins that you're going to chunk anyway, have set up where they can have a contest to to dress up the most unique pin or whatever the case may be. Let me tell you, people get into that a lot. We did this with a military center overseas a few years back, did this, and it was amazing. They could pick up the pin in advance, take it home and decorate it and bring it back by a certain day to submit their entry. Oh my gosh, there are some talented people out there, but it's a great way to get people to come in. It's a great way to engage with your customers.
Yeah, and I think that's a big part of it too. You're mentioning things for the adults too. I know a lot of times people go into bowling centers, family entertainment centers, and they think, oh, it's for my kids, or let me sit over here while my kids play. And, you got to get them involved because they end up having a lot of fun. I think we've talked about that in the past. You got to get the parents involved. It also is fun for the kids when they see their parents doing it, when my kids are doing something, whether they're throwing a Frisbee or something inside the house, and Dad, you want to try it? Yeah, let me jump in. Like it makes it so much more fun for them. So I think you got to tell the parents too, hey, come out and have fun too. This isn't just for the kids.
Yeah. And that's the other thing, right? So Halloween is definitely, kids love it, right? But there are so many adults, some single adults that have no children, that Halloween is it's one of the highest yielding holidays as far as decorations and parties and things like that. Adults go crazy too.
They do. And you know what I'm thinking? And this just popped in my brain. Like you could, take a certain part of your center and make like an escape room, or even make a haunted part of the bowling center, and have them go through the haunted area of your center. They would love that.
That is a great idea. And you can do things with the lighting, put orange cellophane over your lights or things like that to really create that ambiance. And I mean, people are looking for just that special touch that you do, right? But I think, doing something special for the adults, I think that's a great idea.
So Dottie, I just went into producer mode, and I don't know how many different podcasts to listen to, but sometimes somebody brings up a number and then somebody goes and checks it for them. So last year it said $12.2 billion was spent during Halloween time on Halloween products. Yeah.
It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. And so bowling centers can tap into that, right? There's a lot of people that would love to have Halloween parties, but they don't really have, maybe they're in a small apartment and they don't have. So even offer, the ability, if you're a center and you have private rooms, especially, offer those rooms for people to come out. They like half of it is the fun of decorating, at least for the three of us. We like that part of it.
Yes.
So you could either decorate it for them and they could come in and have, their party, or they could come in and rent the room, and then they could decorate their own. And like I said, for us, that's part of the fun is decorating it and getting it ready. So there's just so many opportunities to turn your venue into something so special with just really thinking outside the box. And, listeners, you've heard us say this time and time again. Yes, we're like a broken record. Into your staff, because when you allow them to have input and when you allow them to have the ability to voice what they think, the fact that you listen and you allow, it's a safe space. They can contribute. They can brainstorm with you, and you're going to welcome that feedback. You're going to encourage that feedback. You would be surprised at some of the wonderful ideas that they have. And plus, that's motivating. If you are given an opportunity to brainstorm with the manager or the owners or whomever is planning this event, the event planner, and they do something that you've brainstormed with them, that makes you feel good, right? And that's motivating for the staff. It's very energizing for the staff. So, you get more than just a great idea that you get to execute in your center, but you also have an energized staff member now because, hey, they took my idea and they ran with it. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So, great. Okay. So we've exercised our brain a little bit today. Either one of you guys have any other ideas you want to toss around?
I'd say the key thing for me is just have fun with it. Make sure your staff's having fun. Make sure you're having fun. Make sure the people coming in are having fun. You can't, people are shy sometimes and they don't want to get into the contest, or they don't want to, dance around when there's music playing. Just have fun. I mean, it rubs off on people. Once you're having fun, people are going to see it and they're just going to jump into.
I agree with that. I want to give a shout out. Now we serve all of our listeners, but if you are a Cubica AMF customer and you have HoloPen as an environment, certainly be mindful that you have that, and that can play into the whole atmosphere. For Halloween, make sure you're utilizing any music that you might have available, your Neoverse wall, and the seasonal displays that you have at your fingertips. That is an absolute amazing way to just immerse your guests into the whole Halloween experience. So make sure there's promotional material to advertise the HoloPen environment. So make sure that you're putting that out and marketing that you've got the ability to bowl in a scary new way. So don't forget to utilize all the resources that you have available to help you theme out that experience. The Cubica AMF products really make it easy to do that. Okay, well, Orly, Diana, this has been fun. It's just always a pleasure to be able to brainstorm. And listeners, we would love to hear from you. We would love to hear your feedback. We would love to hear your comments. We would love to see you rate some of these shows that we do. We are doing these for you to help plant those little seeds, those little ideas that may just spark a whole new concept for you at your business or your center or your venue. And that's why we do what we do. So if there's some other topic you'd like, we'd love to hear that as well. So this is a passion of ours, is to help to provide different things that you can do to make your business successful. So thank you so much for being a part of today's episode of Seeds of Success. With decades of industry experience, we are honored to share these ideas, strategies, and brainstorming sessions to help entertainment centers and businesses like yours thrive and grow. Together, we're planting these seeds for a stronger, more successful future. Make sure you share this podcast with your team. Subscribe to our podcast so you're always in the know, because the more seeds we sow, the greater the harvest. Until next time, listeners, let's continue to build success, one happy customer and one incredible experience at a time.